All right, now listen up, because what I'm about to say is going to piss a lot of people off, but I don't really care because it needs to be said. Now, we're in the middle of a war on masculinity. And this war is not just political, it's not just psychological, but it's also biological. Now, we all know on the political spectrum the demonization of men and male behavior by feminist political groups. On the cultural side, psychologically, we know that masculine behavior and natural masculine tendencies are also being demonized and labeled as toxic. But on the biological side, now most guys don't even know this is happening, but this is the most insidious part, the biology involved with what's happening in this war on masculinity, because we are exposed, from the time we are kids, we're exposed to estrogenic chemicals that are influencing the androgen to estrogen ratio in our body. And the androgen to estrogen ratio is what causes the feminization or the masculinization of a man. Chemicals like BPA exert a toxic influence over the body. And what they do is they act as estrogens. They bind to estrogen receptors in the body to increase the perceived level of estrogen in the body. And what happens is a lot of guys start to exhibit feminine characteristics. And this causes them to be very insecure, to be become psychologically unstable, but also have a lot of anxiety, depression, and like I said, insecurities and other issues, health issues, like real medical health issues around that problem, the fact that they have an increased level of estrogen in their body. And this is not just with things like BPA, however, there are a lot of things like that out there that exert this influence, and they're used in our food packaging, our receipts, everything that we touch on a daily basis, a lot of stuff like that. However, there are actually a lot of foods out there that the mainstream media is touting as being healthy, especially for men, that are complete opposite of healthy. For example, flax seeds. Now, flax seeds contain lignans, which are extremely potent estrogens in the body. Now, what you don't want is a diet that's rich in estrogenic foods and constant exposure to certain chemicals that act as estrogens in the body. And this is what feminizes men on a biological level from the inside out. And it's insidious because you can't even see it happening. You can just feel the effects. And most guys don't even know why they're having trouble losing body fat, or they're having trouble gaining muscle in the first place. And it's because of this. It's also because of excessive stress levels. And what happens with this toxic load on the body is your body is constantly in a state of fight or flight. And so you're going to have a lot of trouble losing that extra fat, especially because in fat tissue stores estrogen extremely well. So a lot of guys they wonder why they have problems losing this fat, but this is the reason. So you're probably wondering, how do you fight back against this biological war on masculinity? Now, I'm going to tell you 3 things right now that are going to help with this. Now, first off, you want to make sure that you don't have any key micronutrient deficiencies. Now, these micronutrient deficiencies are namely zinc, magnesium, and especially boron. All of these things increase natural T production, they increase your androgen production and lower estrogen production. So what you want is to make sure that you're not deficient in these things and that you are consuming a bioavailable form of them on a daily basis. That's the first thing. Now, the second one is to lower your stress and actively fight back against excess stress levels. Now, the best way to do this that I recommend is by consuming adaptogenic herbs. Now, adaptogenic herbs like KSM66 ashwagandha and forskolin are proven in peer-reviewed research. I'm a scientist. I got a degree in neuroscience from Duke, and I appreciate the science behind this, especially with herbs. A lot of people think herbs are just some kind of non-scientific thing. However, forskolin and ashwagandha are extremely well studied in medical research, peer-reviewed medical research, and especially in non-sponsored research, which means that the researchers have no financial gain involved with it. They find amazing hormone balancing benefits that lower estrogen, increase T production, and do all sorts of other wonderful things like help with sleep. So forskolin and ashwagandha are extremely highly recommended. Another thing that you want to do is produce a hormone. You want to stimulate the production of a hormone known as LH. That's from your pituitary gland, and it signals to your body to increase more male hormones in your body. Now, when you have a healthy LH level, you're going to have a very healthy T level. So a lot of guys that suffer from low T have actually very, very low LH. And what happens, especially when they take the hormone replacement, it ends up shutting down their LH production. And they end up in this vicious cycle of having to rely on hormone replacement. You don't want to be there. You want to stimulate natural LH production because then you are fighting actively against that feminizing impact of all these toxic chemicals. So by stimulating LH, what you can do is use things like L-glycine, L-theanine, and inositol. They are all shown in peer-reviewed research to also stimulate LH production. And I actually put together a formula, all natural, completely natural ingredients, called TestroX. And TestroX is designed specifically to address all of these issues, to fight back against the biological feminization, and to increase your biological masculinity by increasing natural production of your male hormones. If you want to learn more about TestroX and actually get a discount on it, for everyone who watches this video, just click through the next page. I talk all about it, and I'm going to give you a lot more information over there. Thanks for watching.